Hi, I'm Lisa.
I'm Samantha.
Welcome for the first time to X-UMED.
Well, I want to start out by saying that we are sisters. We are both from Ohio. Lisa is currently still in Ohio. I am currently living in Oklahoma. And we started the podcast because we both love dark history. We both love the origins of essentially anything that you can think of. But the problem with that is the only other person that we really know that loves this is our mother. And she watches it and listens to it quite a bit, to where there isn't really a whole lot that we can say that she doesn't already know about. Like, we're kind of annoying her in whatever she is currently listening to.
And our own families are tired of hearing our weird shit.
So let's talk to everyone about it. We aren't hokey. We just believe in the possibility that anything can exist that has not yet been scientifically disproven. It's a crazy world we live in. So what's the harm in believing in the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot or aliens or real witches and vampires or the
Mermaids.
Bermuda Triangle?
Makes life a little bit more fun.
Makes the world bigger than what it actually is as well.
I think it's bigger than we think it is.
Well, I believe that.
I totally blanked out.
We are not professionals.
We are definitely not professionals. We do our own research, we do our own editing, and we're still learning. We both have full-time jobs and not a lot of time to research. This is just a hobby, but we do think that we do enough research for a good 45-minute episode. And we're not experts on anything either. That's why we do the research. We do this all on our own. We also have dark humor, so we are going to laugh at inappropriate times, but it's only because I'll tell her what I'm going to be researching, but I won't be telling her details, and we're not scripted at all whatsoever. So her reactions are completely genuine, and that's funny. Sometimes it's really funny. And so most of the time when we're laughing at each other's reactions.
Yeah, and there are sometimes other times where we're laughing at the morbid of it and we know it's wrong. But that's also kind of how we grew up, kind of.
I think anybody who's going to listen to us has kind of the same sense of humor anyway, so I don't think that's going to be a huge problem.
I don't think so.
We're also not going to stifle our personality by watching our mouths. You'll hear us occasionally drop a few F-bombs here and there. It's just our personalities. We just try not to overdo it, but sometimes it just cannot be helped.
There are times where we have no idea how to pronounce words. Words become very hard and we'll have to spell it out, but words are hard, especially when we're going across different regions of the world. And I don't have a clue how to pronounce certain things in Greek or Russian. I'm not even
We
gonna
really
try.
need to use Google Translate a little bit more, but sometimes Google Translate gets it wrong too. So we're just, we do our best. We'll work on that though, because I do feel like it might be a little disrespectful to not be able to pronounce it at least remotely right.
We try.
We do. We try. Another thing that we will do is trigger warnings.
Some of the trigger warnings will be about like mental health awareness, suicide. I want to say murder, but some of the things that we do, it's the entire episode will be a trigger warning.
Domestic violence.
Yes, but there are things that we will not talk about, such as like animal cruelty. We are pet lovers. No, I'm not going to talk about it unless like there is an instance where like I'm currently researching more in depth on Ted Bundy and it does come up, but all I'm going to say is in this aspect, there was animal cruelty and we're just going to move on from that. Just a slight note in that comment.
Exactly. If it disturbs us too much to talk about, then we're not going to try to disturb other people and talk about it. If it ruins my day, I'm not going to talk about it. We also will not be talking politics or religion unless it's like 100 years ago and it's just, irrelevant now. Modern politics, we don't do that shit here.
No, the only time that we're going to talk about it is if it's historical regarding the episode that we're talking about. Let's say, like, for instance, like 1500s England.
Mhm.
everything was controlled by religion and politics. That was 500-600 years ago.
I mean, it still is now, but
But that was their way of life. Well, a little bit about ourselves. As Lisa said, we are not professionals. We have full-time jobs. I am a delivery driver. Lisa is a warehouse worker. We don't have the time that we want to put into this, and things are a little slow moving. So you'll see like our audio will get a little bit better. Our research will get a little bit better.
Mhm.
I love anything historical. I've recorded an episode on Anne Boleyn or haunted bridges, Bermuda Triangle, while Lisa is more of the mythological researcher, where cryptids, witches. Trying to think back to some of the episodes that we recorded, and I already can't think.
I did a serial killer. I also did one that I was actually pretty excited to do about, Robert Johnson and the Crossroads.
I think what makes us stand out versus some other podcast is the fact that we constantly listen to podcasts. Like I was listening to one, or not one, about a dozen regarding King Henry VIII or the Bermuda Triangle. And every single podcast talked about the exact same thing. And it kind of irritated me because it was a dozen podcasts and it was all the same information. While on the other hand, like I know all these other different things because I'm obsessed with it. So let's talk about all of these other small things that really add up to a lot
Mhm.
that no one really talks about because you want to talk about the highlights and the big historical facts rather than all of these little small things. And that's the research that we're getting into, is all of the small things that add up into one. That is the reason why you have all of these headlines.
I do around about the same thing that she does. Cryptids. I'll talk about the lesser known cryptids. We'll probably end up doing Bigfoot just because everybody wants to hear about
Yeah.
Bigfoot. I just don't think that I can find any information that nobody else has talked about. But we will talk about mermaids. We're going to talk about well-known things, but I'm also going to go into the cryptids that are not so well known. Serial killers. If I do another one after the one I did, it'll be probably one that not a lot of people have heard about, because we just don't want to be regurgitating the same thing that everyone else is talking about.
No, I get tired of listening to it. I'm sure other people are as well.
Yeah, we take a different approach. And if you can't tell, we're very, very awkward. And we have a unique way of speaking, I think.
We're also trying a lot of different things. There are some episodes that we are too awkward and we don't have a clue how to start them. So
Mhm.
we'll give each other insults, or we'll
Yeah.
look up like weird recent news.
Yeah, those are some little skits like in the very, very beginning that we'll do, and it just kinda helps us to warm up and loosen up and relax a little bit for the episode instead of just going straight into it. And a lot of times those skits are not gonna have anything to do with the topic of the episode at all, but yeah, just a little something extra just to have fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of things that we do are dark, so add a little bit of humor in the beginning. You're not really going to
Mhm.
get it from the rest of the episode unless you're laughing at the way that we joke around with each other or insult each other.
We're also not gonna do 20 minutes of bullshit in the beginning of an episode either.
No.
We'll get into it pretty quick. So, the beginning of the episode, just, maybe 2 minutes or so just to kinda warm up, and sometimes we'll get right into it. Just all depends on how we're feeling that day and how we can wrap our minds around the information that we need to do our best to present.
We will listen to anything that anyone has to say, different things that we talk about. Feel free to write us. We will take criticism. We will take it. We don't know how we're going to take it yet. Construction, constructive criticism is probably something that we need.
Mhm. If you're gonna be a dick about it, though, at least be funny.
Yeah.
You haven't said anything that we haven't already said to ourselves, so not gonna ruin my day.
Yeah.
I'll just take it as constructive criticism.
I already know my voice is deep. I know that I'm awkward. I know I do not know how to pronounce words. I don't need to hear it.
Give us suggestions. Write in and give us suggestions on, something that you would like us to talk about. I actually have something in mind that I wanna talk about for Halloween next season, but I'm not quite sure that I should, and I'll probably We'll talk about it during the Halloween episode, but it's pretty dark and it's pretty disturbing. I don't even know if I can deliver it.
I guess let's see how this first season goes.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe I'll take a poll and see who wants to hear us talk about it and who doesn't. You guys can vote. Write it and tell us a story. If we get enough of those, we'll read them in an episode, as long as you let us know that we're allowed to.
And give us suggestions on what you want to hear, because the one thing that we're trying to promise is we're actually going to do what we say we're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we are always just going to be ourselves, because we don't know how to be anybody else. We don't know how we couldn't be fake if we tried. So
No.
what you see is what you get.
That sounds like too much work. Well, we do have a Facebook page, TikTok, where you'll see some of our shorts that'll come out probably before the episode gets released. So probably a couple of days before. I think Lisa's doing an Instagram page, but to hear our full episodes, it will be on Apple, Spotify, as well as Patreon. And we do have a website, exhumed.com, where you can write into us, but you can also write into us on exhumedpodcast@gmail.com. Either way, they're both going to go to the same email account. The website will cover the topics that we're talking about, and they will be released the week that our episodes are released. As well as, I don't want to say sponsors. We don't have sponsors. We don't have anything like that.
Nobody knows who we are.
No.
We're just two weird bitches doing a podcast. Nobody knows who we are.
Yeah, like I like to advertise a couple of different people, more so of like sources that we use that we think that people would be interested in. And in order for me to use their logo, I feel like I need to
ask permission
and give the link on where they can find this book or where they can find that. Yeah.
We kind of end up kind of promoting or advertising for people every now and then, but it's because it pertains to what we're talking about.
It's genuine.
It's kind of cool how it comes about, I feel like.
But one of the last things that I have to say is we do have co-host.
Yeah. If you're watching,
yes.
if you're watching, you'll see her cats.
I've got Shadow and Lynx, who are relatively good. Shadow, you'll occasionally see on my shoulders, but he usually like sits in my lap and just watches the screen or boops my chin, wanting attention. But her dog is the problem. Not really.
Okay, listen. He's a little Boston Terrier. Anyone who knows anything about little pug-nosed dogs knows that they snort and they make gross noises and they snore really loud. Plus, he's fat. Pretty sure he's got apnea.
He's old.
He is. He's old. He's very attached to me. And for a while, I couldn't get him to leave me alone while I was recording. So, I would just kind of hope for the best when I was editing and hope that it wasn't going to be a problem. And it's not a problem. I have found ways to occupy him since then so that he's not snoring in the background. Especially if you're an animal lover, I don't think it's going to be annoying. And it doesn't cover up our voices or anything. Just every once in a while, you'll hear a snort or, some weird gagging noise. Or
It's just a dog.
Yeah. It sounds like I have a pig, but he's a dog.
I don't know. I don't think there's much more that we can give. It sounds like it's about that time. Righto? About that time,
Righto?
chaps?
Let's try that over again. Well, it's about that time, eh, chaps?
Righto.
There you go.
The end.
That's probably the only inside joke we have. We don't want to keep inside jokes. Look up The End of the World on YouTube. It's an animation and it's funny as hell.
And if you can't find it, then type in E-Bombs World, or I don't even remember what year it was. Probably like 2003.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But here's the Earth.
Round.
Damn, that is a sweet Earth. Anyways, yeah, I think that's about it. So whether you like us or hate us, thank you for listening and giving us a chance. And enjoy the first episode, where whatever it may be, because we're publishing these all out of order and we don't even know what the first episode's going to be yet. So that'll be a surprise for all of us.
But if you don't like the first episode, if you don't like the second, we're rotating between like cryptids, dark history, true crime.
Each episode is going to be completely different from the one the week before. We're not just dark history. We're urban legends. We're hauntings. We're folklore, mythology, a little bit of true crime here and there, cryptids. We have a very wide variety of what we talk about. So there will be something for everyone to like, I think, as long as you can get past
Us.
us. We thought the same thing. So, anyways, thanks for listening and enjoy our first episode.
Have a good night.